And welcome back to Fisher Sports Desk. Now we are going to talk a little bit about the women's conference standings in regards to the playoffs. Currently in the Empire 8, 6 teams are vying for 4 places in order to make the Empire 8 tournament. First and second seeded Stevens and Ithaca have already clinched spots. Third seeded Utica, on the other hand, can clinch a playoff spot with a win against Stevens, Fisher, or Alfred. Fisher, on the other hand, who is currently in the 4th spot, can clinch with a win against Utica or Hartwick this weekend, or losses by Elmira and RIT. Elmira and RIT are still in the playoff contention, but they have to rely on other teams losing in order to get into the tournament, which begins February 29th.
And now it's time for our Insider segment with Sloane Martin from the varsity women's basketball team. And you guys broke your losing streak against Elmira. You look to be back on track, but then the next day against Ithaca, went right back to your old ways.
Exactly, John. We really came into this weekend wanting to play very strong, really wanting to get more wins in order to secure our playoff berth, but we came out very strong as you saw against Elmira, but Ithaca really has our number and we weren't able to finish it.
One bright spot about the Ithaca game, Allison Bames scored her 1,000th career points. How was that? How was she feeling about that and the whole team?
We were all so excited and happy for her. It's such a monumental achievement. It's awesome that she was able to get this weekend.
And a win against Ithaca certainly would have helped your playoff chances, but unfortunately you couldn't do that. So how do you feel now about having to get a win over win over Utica or possibly some other combinations of occurrences?
Well, this weekend is very important to us. We are going into the games against Utica and Hartwick as must-win situations. We really feel like we can win. You remember the last game against Utica we lost at the buzzer. We really feel like we can compete against this team. And Hartwick we had beaten before, so we're pretty confident with that as well. But the mindset is really to win both games and not have to worry about other teams losing, basically controlling our own destiny.
Sounds like a plan, Sloane, and we wish you girls, the best in your efforts to get into the postseason, because then we can do some more coverage on you here at FSD. Now moving on to a discussion of the men's playoff chances. The Empire 8 men's basketball standings and Empire 8 playoff scenario implications are as follows. Stevens has clinched an Empire 8 tournament spot and can clinch the number 1 seed and home court advantage with a win over Utica. And Ithaca, Nazareth, and St. John Fisher can clinch playoff spots with a Utica loss to Stevens. Utica remains in playoff contention but will be eliminated with a loss to Stevens. And RIT, Hartwick, Elmira, and Alfred have been totally eliminated from playoff contention. Now moving on to a discussion of the men's basketball team specifically, Justin Beigel also reached a career 1,000 points in his effort in a win against Elmira last Friday.
A great contribution for him as well. He's always been someone that this team can depend on, a great rebounder and tenacious scorer as well.
Now we've seen Fisher kind of been a bit inconsistent. They lost to RIT early in the season, then they beat Stevens, the best team, supposedly the best team in the Empire Conference. They've been the number 1 seed all season long. Where do you think they'll finish in the Empire standings? Can they win their 6th straight Empire 8 championship?
Fisher definitely has the talent and the ability in order to win more games and raise their spot in the standings. However, they do play very inconsistently, as you said. We saw them play, you and I did the game against Elmira, which they really played down to their level. And against Ithaca, they gave a well thought out effort. It was a much better game. So it really depends on who they're playing with in regards to their consistency.
And we'll be tracking both the teams, men and women, in their attempts to enter the playoffs and do well and win another Empire championship here for St. John Fisher. And that'll do it for our second segment here on Fisher Sports Desk. And we'll be right back.